that got together. They were fed up with the Democrat Party and their continued support of slavery in the United States of America. And they were fed up with the Whig Party that continued to go along with it under the guise of compromise. And it got together in a field in the Midwest, and they formed the Republican Party. Abraham Lincoln became their candidate. And if the modern blogosphere would have been around back then, they would have been labeling Abraham Lincoln as that crazy Tea Party candidate. Yeah. So I want to thank you for your patriotism. I want to thank you for coming out today, and I want to thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak. Now, what am I going to speak on today? This issue is not about health care. This issue is about so much bigger. This issue is about limited government, the role of government, our national identity, liberty, prosperity. That's what this issue is about. There's a great political philosopher named Thomas Sowell who said, every time you seek a government solution to one of your everyday problems, you have to sacrifice a little bit of your liberty to get that solution. And that's where we're at right now. And I got to tell you, I'm going to be brief today because this is a simple issue. It is simple, but it is vitally important. It is vitally so serious. It is about liberty. Too many have fought too hard for it. It's in our DNA. It's in our national identity, the right to fight for liberty, the desire to fight for liberty. I really like that. Back over 200 years ago, taxation without representation, Sam Adams got together with the Sons of Liberty and he charged them. He said, those who don't fight with me, may the chains of slavery rest lightly on you. It's in our DNA, all the way up into our generations, up into the modern times. That greatest generation that fought across the Pacific Ocean, island to island, places like Guadalcanal, Iwo Jima, Saipan, to fight back those totalitarian regimes. Those other great Americans went to Europe. They helped our allies fight that Nazi bombardment. And then when it was time, they took the fight to them. They landed on D-Day and took the fight to Berlin. And they fought for liberty. They came home. And they built the greatest prosperity this nation, this world has ever known. Into the modern era. Martin Luther King Jr. said that's not enough. We need to have liberty for all. One set of civil rights. Judge a man by the character of his content of his character, not the color of his skin. Absolutely, I like that one. Now here it is on to us today. The chain of custody of that liberty is on us. And here we are faced with this Obamacare, faced with this issue. And I tell you, politicians out there, the president, politicians, all these other individuals up in Washington, D.C. are going to try and cloud this issue. They're going to try and cover it up with all kinds of smokescreen. I'll tell you, they start out with the biggest one. They just said, don't worry about reading it. I can't think of a bigger smokescreen than that one. Don't worry about what's in that thing. But they're going to try and cloud it. And it's very simple issues, liberty and prosperity. They're going to use terms to cloud it. They're going to promise people free things. Yeah. Now I'm assuming because you're out here, you're pretty well educated in the political process, and certainly I know I'm preaching to the choir when I say nothing in government is free. I know we get that one. It's time they started learning that. And I'll tell you, I love that one joke. You think healthcare is expensive right now, wait till it's free. But now let's look at their other smokescreen. What do they do? What do they do when they get in trouble? When they see their messages, fading, what do? Blame. Well, I'm going to go one step further than blame. They attack their fellow Americans. They attack them. And their latest one, we've all heard it already, free riders. Free riders. Now, who are these free riders? I'll tell you who they are. They're people with jobs. They're people who pay taxes, who've made a choice not to buy health care. I'll tell you what, I believe in life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, and I absolutely believe in your right to choose and not the government. It's your right. It's your right to make an economic choice, even a bad one. What if you decide you want to buy a Chevy Bolt? That's your right. You want an adjustable rate mortgage? That's your right. It's your right. The government cannot protect you from making a bad economic choice. It is your right to make that mistake, and I will go there and fight for your right to do that. Now, one more issue on the moral clarity of the free riders. I find it very hard to reconcile because I'm a Marine. Yeah, I'm a Marine. So I look at things tactically. And I look at my opposition, my political opposition, and I try and figure out what is it they're thinking? How is it they justify? Because I try to figure out their ideology. And I'll tell you, this free rider thing really just blows me away. Because I try and figure out how the party that fights out of one side of their mouth for a woman's absolute right to choose whether or not to abort a human fetus simultaneously fights out the other side of their mouth for that woman's lack of right to choose whether or not to do something as simple as purchase health care. I find that one a little hard to reconcile, and I can't quite figure them out. Now, let's get down to brass tacks. What is this thing? What is it at the end of the day? It's the biggest tax increase on the middle class in American history. That's what it is. Call it what it is. That's what it is. What does that mean for us? Here in San Diego County, it means more big government. It means more revenue leaving our district, leaving San Diego County, and going to Washington, D.C. We got 12% unemployment rate here. They got 4% over there. There's something wrong with this equation. Yeah. Keep that revenue here in our district, here in San Diego County, where it can stay in the private sector, where it can grow jobs. Government can't grow jobs. It can just take revenue from those who do. But I know you get that one. Yeah. Now, let's get down to, I'm a realist. I deal with what is. Not what I wish was, not what I wish. I'm not a John Lennon song, Imagine, and all this other crazy stuff. I deal with what is. And what is, Obamacare is the law of the land right now. It is the law of the land. It stood up to the Supreme Court. Now, I'm never one to do silver linings because I don't like blowing sunshine where it shouldn't be. But here's one silver lining I was thinking about on the way over here. Hold it farther away. I get excited. I try and get a little close. Can I go all the way down there? All right. Now, where was I? Was silver linings. Sound good? Yeah. Silver linings. Isn't it kind of fun to think you're smarter than the Chief Justice on the Supreme Court? Yeah. That's my silver lining for today. I'm going to go back up there. Okay. I'm a slow learner, but I learn. Okay, now, one thing that bothers me about political rallies, I can't stand when we sit around and talk about what's broke over and over and over to the point of nausea. We all know it's broke. I know I'm preaching the choir now. How do we fix it? I'm going to give you one simple way. I'm going to give you a call to action today. I am running for Congress. No, I'm do better than vote. I'm running for Congress in California's 53rd Congressional District. My opponent, Susan Davis. Let's deal with fact. My opponent, Susan Davis, supports this law, supports Obamacare. I support a repeal. Now they're going to try and cloud that. They're going to say repeal and replace, right? I said, no, repeal. If you want to replace with something, okay, I got an idea. I'll replace it with not the biggest tax increase in on the middle class in American history. That's my replacement. Not the biggest tax increase in American history on the middle class. That's my replacement. That's what I offer. What can you do to help? Hey, this is the call to action. Campaigns run on money. Now, I'm not going to be able to outspend an entrenched incumbent. I know that. I'm a grassroots candidate. I'm down here on the street. We do it with people power. So if you want to make a difference, if you want to change this, if you want to get one more vote on the Hill, you want to turn your vote from 1 out of 300 million to 1 out of 435, help me get up there. Go back there and volunteer. I got an office. I got a table in the back. That's how I operate. I'm a field headquarters. I got a table in the back. Go back there, volunteer. We're not big money. If you got $1 in your pocket, donate $1. Grab an envelope, fill it out, and put $1 in that envelope. $1 gets me 10 trifolds. That's 10 more people I can take that message to. You got $5. That's 2 yard signs. You got $50. That's 30 seconds on TV. That's how we win this. We can sit out here and preach to the choir, but we got to take this fight to the rest of the community, those who are not out here, so that they can get what we know. So help me take that fight to the community. I thank you for your patriotism. I thank you for your support. God bless you. God bless America. I'm Popaditch.